चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। रघु जी, the Gita Dhyanam, please.
हरि ओम सर।
हरि ओम।
ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायत पत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। स वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारणीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदिक्कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदः क्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। मीना जी, मीना शर्मा जी, हाँ जी, स्टार्ट चैंटिंग फ्रॉम। हम लोग 9 पे रुके हुए हैं, तो
जी
7 8 9 कर लीजिए।
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम् कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृतस्नमशनं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्यन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु।
So what he's saying over here is that I do not, while I appear to be acting in this world, I do not get tied down by these actions. So is it cold over there, Ravi?
Oh yeah, and my son and daughter-in-law keep this house extremely cold.
Oh, okay. The house is cold. Because...
yeah, but even outside is also very cold. It's
okay. So sorry. So what he's saying is, these actions don't bind me. Now, he had said this earlier also, where we are saying that as long as I am not bound by the fruit of the action, action is something that is inherent as far as I have a body, mind, intellect. My body is bound to act, even if my mind has become zero. Take a case of Raman Maharshi, who was, I mean, well, we'll say mindless, right? In the positive sense of the word. So he was mindless, but yet he got up in the morning, he took a stick, he walked around, he did Giri Parikrima, all of that he did. So there was physical action that is going on, and that is bound to happen whether we like it or we don't like it. It is there. But will the action bind me? No, it does not bind me, because I am no longer fixated. I am no longer attached to the results. So he says in the next shloka, let us take verse number 10. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Suyate sacharacharam Suyate sacharacharam Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Suyate sacharacharam Hetunanena kaunteya Jagadviparivartate Jagadviparivartate Hetunanena kaunteya Jagadviparivartate Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Suyate sacharacharam Hetunanena kaunteya Jagat viparivartate Maya, by me, Adhyakshena. Adhyaksha means by ruling, right? By ruling, by giving direction. Adhyakshena prakritihi, this prakriti, suyate, brings into being. So the interesting mythological fact, the wife of Daksha Prajapati is called Prasuti. Prasuti. She who gives birth. Prasuti. Right? Because this entire world, it is populated. On one hand, there were the Sapta Rishis who did not have wives, and they were born out of the manas of Brahma. Whereas, so to procreate, the feminine was needed. So where did the feminine come from? Daksha Prajapati produced female children, and a large number of them, many numbers. So Kashyap Muni married 13 of them, Chandrama married 27 of them, and so on and so forth. So, and therefore his wife, who was continuously giving birth, is called Prasuti. So from that you can understand the word Suyate, means gives birth, brings into being. Sa Chara Acharam. Acharam. Chara means that which moves around, and Achara means that which is inanimate, which does not move around. So Sa means both. Sa Chara Acharam. So it is by my direction that consciousness, intelligence, is that which propels this entire world into existence. Hetuna, the reason, anena, this kaunteya, Krishna Arjun, jagat, this material world, vipari vartate, and continuously continues to go through changes, because it is something that is continuously being processed through this material energy. So here, Sri Krishna is saying that I don't directly come into this being and say, okay, do this and do that. It is only the direction that I give to material energy, and the material energy by itself is continuously propelling itself to do various things. So material energy is that which is causing this entire world to come into being. Yes, Raghuji.
Well, when you said that if there is body, mind, intellect, there is action, I think that it is not just body, mind, intellect. The thing manifests, there is an action. Because even the earth going around the sun is an action. All these things are happening automatically, but they are actions.
So when I say body, mind, intellect, I am talking of the microcosmic. When you look at the macrocosmic, everything else that is in the material energy. That is why here he says chara, acharam, both. So the acharam is also included. Now remember, we have moved away from chapter 1 to 6. So now whenever we have an example, the example has to be, therefore, very good that you pointed this out, is that we have to look at it from a macrocosmic process. So the whole process of evolution itself from the Big Bang. So one of the questions that comes there, what was there before the Big Bang? What is there before the Big Bang? Now you can't even call it the void. You can't call it emptiness, because emptiness by definition will mean that there has to be some space against which there is emptiness. Right? That which existed even before the Big Bang is what we call Brahman. So that indefinable is what we call Brahman. So this whole process of what we are talking about, of this whole process of Jayati, Gacchati, and in the between of Jayati and Gacchati, Tishtati is called Jagat. And therefore he very specifically uses the word Jagat. Jagat, and then he says Vipari Vartate. Vipari Vartate undergoes continuous change. So he says Hetunanena Hetu Anena Hetuna Anena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. He says this continuously undergoes change. Now, we have to understand that Krishna is trying to explain to us that the difference between what is material and that which is non-material has to be very clear in our body, mind, intellect concept. So he says in verse number 1, verse number 11. Let us look at verse number 11. Avajananti mam mudha, avajananti mam mudha, manushim tanumashritam, manushim tanumashritam, avajananti mam mudha, manushim tanumashritam, param bhavam ajananto, param bhavam ajananto, param bhavam ajananto, mama bhuta maheshwaram, mama bhuta maheshwaram, param bhavam ajananto, mama bhuta maheshwaram, avajananti mam mudha, manushim tanumashritam, param bhavam ajananto, mama bhuta maheshwaram. Avajananti, not knowing, disregarding. Various meanings can be put in. So, jananti, to know. Avajananti, not knowing, or intentionally not regarding. Both meanings can be possible. Mama, mam, me, mudha. Mudha means the ignorant. Manushim, humans. Tanum, form. Tanu is form. Ashritam, take on the form. Tanum ashritam. Param, divine. Bhavam. Bhavam means the way it is expressed in the feeling or the manifestation. Param bhavam. Ajanantaha, not knowing or disregarding. Mama, me or my. Bhuta, all beings. Maheshwaram, Maha Ishwaram, the Supreme Ishvara. So here he says very clearly that even when I am here standing in front of you and I am saying that I am not recognizable, I am standing in front of you, but people don't recognize me as the Supreme Lord. Now, is he talking about that particular body which is blue in color, wearing a peacock feather, having a weapon or a Sudarshan Chakra in his hand, or having a Totra Vetraika Panaye? He is not having a whip and a stick in his hand. Is he talking of that? Obviously not. Because if he is talking of that, then Arjuna is equally the same. He is talking of that which exists beyond this physical appearance, and he's saying that people do not recognize that which is prevalent in everybody here as the Bhuta Maheshwaram, that which rules over this entire Bhuta, entire material existence. Such a people who disregard this are ignorant, They will live in this ignorance and therefore they are trapped by Maya. They are trapped by avidya. We move on to verse number 12. Moghasha mogha karmano. Moghasha mogha karmano. Mogha jnana vichetasaha. Mogha jnana vichetasaha. Moghasha mogha karmano. Mogha jnana vichetasaha. Rakshasīmāsūrīṃ chaiva. Rakshasīmāsūrīṃ chaiva. Prakritim mohinim sritaha. Prakritim mohinim sritaha. Rakshasīmāsūrīṃ chaiva. Prakritim mohinim sritaha. Moghasha mogha karmano. Mogha jnana vichetasaha. Rakshasīmāsūrīṃ chaiva. Prakritim mohinim sritaha. Mogha, asha, mogha, vain, with vanity. Mogha. Mogha karmanaha. Karmana, which are mogha, with vanity, with self, the smaller self, with self-centeredness. Mogha. So with hopes which are centered around the self. Karmanaha, with the actions which are centered around the self. Mogha jnana, of knowledge which is limited to the physical self. Vichetasaha, or the chetana is vikrita, has been turned aside. Vikrita, vichetasaha. So such a person. Mogha, asha, mogha karmanaha, mogha jnana, vichetasaha. Rakshasīṃ āsūrīṃ jaiva. Now I will explain Rakshasi and Asuri later on when we do Deva Asuri Sampada. Devi Sampada, Asuri Sampada. There is a whole chapter on this. But essentially, what is Rakshasi behavior? Now let us look at the Rakshasas. Who are the Rakshasas? The Rakshasas are Ravan, Kumbhakarna, etc. etc. These were people who were called Rakshasas. And who are the Asuras? The Asuras are the people who existed along with from the Kashyapa Muni. Right? Mythologically, they are the children of Kashyapa Muni, but from different mothers. Danu and Diti produced Danavas and Daityas. These are called the Asuras. Now, all of these, what is their behavior? Their behavior, despite intense tapas, having manifested the Ishvara in some form or the other, what do they ask for? They ask for self-glorification. Right? Ravan's intensity of bhakti is given respect even today. When we do Shiva Puja, the first tirtham, the water that has been given on Abhishek, first it is poured over Nandi. It is only when Nandi has accepted that, then it is offered to the ground. It is poured in the ground with two names. One is called Ravana, the other is called Banasur. These people are also offered. Only then the tirtha is acceptable to us. Now, are we saying, oh, they are greater than us? Yes, their intensity was greater than us. But what is not greater than us is the fact that they did not surrender their ego. So, Ravan cut off one head, second head, third head, fourth head. He went right up to the ninth head, kept throwing it into the fire. At the 10th head, Shiva manifested and he said, oh, I want victory over this entire three worlds. And Shiva says, poor idiot, you should have asked for the victory over your body, mind, intellect. That is the three worlds that you should have conquered. Instead of that, what did you ask for? Oh, you asked for Patal, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Go ahead, take it, temporary. What will happen? No, for that I need some weapons. Here, take my sword, Chandrahasa. No, but I need more weapons. Here, take Pashupatastra. Get back all your 10 heads. Let your ego have multiplicity. And here also take 10 aspirins. Because when you get a headache, you will have 10 heads to have a headache, no? All the 10 heads will have an headache. So, see what he has done. That intensity of tapasya, if we can manifest even a little bit of it with the reduction of ego that Vibhishan manifested, where he said, when Shiva came in front of him, he was also very intense in his tapasya. And Shiva comes in front of him and says, Brahma came and said, what do you want? Now, expecting that, as usual, all the Rakshasas, they ask for immortality. So he said, no, I don't want anything. I just wanted to see you. And now you tell me what I should ask for. You give me whatever you think is fit. You give me whatever you think is fit. Go ahead, take immortality. Become immortal. So Vibhishan is counted amongst the immortals who are still surviving. Right? Hanuman, Parashuram, these are the immortals. Kripacharya, Ashwatthama, these are people who are said to be the 7 immortals. Of these, Vibhishan is one of them. So the story goes that Vibhishan goes to Srirangam to worship Sriranga Swami every day at midnight. So he's still around doing worship and all that. Now, Vibhishan, lack of ego and Ravan's expression of ego changes them from being Rakshas and the Devi Sampad. So this is what we are saying. Rakshasim Asurim Jaiva Prakritim Mohinim Shrutaha. So what happens is that all they become deluded by this Mohinim. Now again, Mohini is a beautiful word. He who completely deludes us. Right? In Vishnu, in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, we see Vishnu having taken Mohini Rupa. Mohini Rupa is the most beautiful woman. I mean, for the picture that we are told is that Vishnu prayed to Devi, took 1/16 of the glory of Devi, used that to create himself into a woman. 1/16. And that was so very attractive, so very delusionary, that it caused the Devas and the Asuras completely to get deluded. And the thing they were fighting about, the pot of Amrita, they handed it to her. And they said, okay, you decide. As if she was a great judge who has descended from God knows where, and she's going to decide how the Amrita is going to be distributed. Why? Because Mohnim Mashritaha. You get deluded by this material energy. So we are all deluded by material energy, looking for what is good, what is bad. This is good, this is bad, this is very nice, this is good to look at, etc., etc. This is where we go. Rakshasim Asurim Jaiva Prakritim Mohinim Sritaha. So in the next shloka, for the last shloka for the day, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Devim Prakritim Ashritaha, Devim Prakritim Ashritaha, Bhajantyananya Manaso, Bhajantyananya Manaso, Myatva Bhutadim Avyayam, Myatva Bhutadim Avyayam, Bhajantyananya Manaso, Myatva Bhutadim Avyayam, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Devim Prakritim Ashritaha, Bhajantyananya Manaso, Myatva Bhutadim Avyayam, Mahatmanaha. Mahatma is Mahan Atma, the great soul. Atmana here means the real self. Mahan Atma, person who has achieved greatness. What is greatness? That which is pervasive to everything, is only thing which is great. Mam, me, Partha is Arjun. Devim Prakritim. Devim Prakritim. The earlier time we saw Rakshasim Asurim Prakritim. Here he is changing that and becoming Devim Prakritim. Now what is the difference? Very interestingly, if you see Rakshasas and Asuras, the fight between Devas and Asuras is basically about Lakshmi. Right? One group says, I want Lakshmi, hold her. The other group says, Lakshmi has to flow. So one group is wanting to free Lakshmi and make her flow, Devas, and the other is saying, no, Lakshmi has to be held by me. That is the fight. Right? Basically, that is the fight. So Devi Shaktis basically say, create wealth, distribute wealth, think about others, make things better. That is a Devi Shakti, Devi Prakriti. So here he's saying Devi Prakriti Ashritaha. They take shelter of Devi energies. Bhajanti, engage in Ananya Manasaha. Ananya Manasaha, without anything else. Anya. Ananya. Without anything else. Exclusively. Bhajanti Mam Manasaha, with the mind. Manas, fixed. Absolutely, completely fixed. Exclusively. Jnatva, knowing, Bhuta, all this creation, Adin, in the origin, Avyayam, the imperishable. So these people who are great, they take refuge to good deeds, they take refuge to creating wealth in the world, they take refuge to doing their duty without attachment to the fruits. They are the people who are doing this because their mind is exclusively fixed on me, and they are working here knowing that this entire universe comes from that which is imperishable. They know that this world that we are seeing is perishable. The source of that is where their mind is, and hence they are great Atmas. Right? Let us stop here for the day because I want to go a little slow here. This needs manan. I need you to go through chapters 9 with a little bit of slowness. Do a little bit of manan on this, because there should be a lot of inward thinking of saying, how do I look at the world now? How do I apply this in my day-to-day living? That is the question that I want you to understand and ask yourselves. That is why I'm going a little slow. It's a very short chapter. We can easily finish it very fast, but I don't want to do that. Right? Tell you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.